argue basically that any kind of physical barrier to people crossing the border illegally could potentially result in death. If you were to build a 10-foot wall and someone decides to try to climb that wall and they fall off and they hit their head and they die, I wouldn't say that the blame for that is on the person who
educational
constructed the wall,
purpose,
but on the person who decided that they should try to scale the wall. You take an inherent
Jet
risk
Fuel
when you
Game
cross into
in the
another country.
building. Jet Fuel Game in the building.
Hello, find somebody with some sense. You take an inherent risk. I have neighbors that have fences up, and they have.
Rewind that back for y'all. Y'all
Gonna throw her back into
this is Kwame Brown. Shout out Kwame
patch
Brown.
her up,
Video.
take her to court, and give her an escape charge.
Kwame
But now,
Kwame
to
Brown.
garner sympathy, to make it seem
Shout out
like
Kwame Brown.
you're doing something wrong to them, you can
This
see
what's going on.
the razor
I didn't
wire.
know this part.
You know what razors do. That's not America's fault if you go try to climb razor wire fence. Sorry. Like, this don't make no sense. There's rules in this country for a reason. This woman right here, if she was in power, she would ruin America because she got so many feelings. Well, if I was a criminal, I'd just be sending women and children. Because you would say, oh, well, you know what? Just cut open the wire to let the women and children. But some countries will strap a bomb to a woman and a child.
Educational purpose, entertainment
will do
only.
that. If you're going to be this soft to think that other countries won't do what it's necessary to take over your country or destroy you, yeah, lady, this moment, no. When those military men go over there and fight, they have to do what they have to do because they've never seen what these people bring to the table. Kids with bomb vests, grown men with bomb vests, children, they've never seen this. So you got to protect this border. It's unfortunate, but you must do what you have to do to protect everybody, not just about what hurt your feelings.
So this case was basically just a stay of the ability of Border Patrol agents to cut the concertina wire pending further legal action. So basically there's a case that's coming before the Fifth Circuit on February 7th that will actually hear the merits of the case as to whether or not Border Patrol trumps the state authority to control its own border. And Texas is arguing that under the Constitution, we have the right to prevent an invasion of our country. Greg Abbott has invoked the invasion clause, the emergency clause that gives him the authority to do this. So SCOTUS is not saying that Texas is wrong to put the wire up or that they can't put the wire up, but they're simply saying pending this February 7th court case, we're going to allow the federal agents to come in and cut it if they so choose. Now, Texas, in response to that, is saying, you can come in and cut the wire, but we're basically not going to allow you access. So they're trying to find this loophole where they can skirt the Supreme Court's stay of the Fed's ability to cut the concertina wire pending this court case. Now, I would agree on technical terms that it shouldn't be a death sentence to cross the border illegally, but you could argue basically that any kind of physical barrier to people crossing the border illegally could potentially result in death. If you were to build a 10-foot wall and someone decides to try to climb that wall and they fall off and they hit their head and they die, I wouldn't say that the blame for that is on the person who constructed the wall, but on the person who decided that they should try to scale the wall. You take an inherent risk when you cross into another country.
Hello, finally somebody with some sense.
Y'all know where we're going?
You take an inherent risk. I have neighbors that have fences up, and they have do not enter private property. If I go over fence or said property, which is made to keep me out, and I get hurt or I fall off the fence, I can't now call the police and say, hey, I fell off their fence that I was trying to get in their yard when they didn't ask me to come in their yard. I was illegally trying to encroach on their space. Illegally. They already have signs posted saying no trespassing. But I jumped over the gate, I fell, I hurt myself, I broke my back. Like, no, it don't work like that. You have a responsibility to not go bothering people's stuff. This is the United States of America, the most safe country. We're supposed to be the most strongest military, the most fortified, and you can just walk right through our gates. or no gates at that. We put up barriers, they want to cut them open. That makes no sense. So I like this woman's logic. This woman seems to be way more logical. This is how you think about your home safety. This is how you think about your family safety. So why wouldn't you think the same way about the border?
And someone decides to try to climb that wall and they fall off, they hit their head and they die, I wouldn't say that the blame for that is on the person who constructed the wall, but on the person who decided that they should try to scale the wall. You take an inherent risk when you cross into another country illegally. And the whole reason of putting this razor wire on the Rio Grande is to disincentivize people from trying to cross the river, which is inherently a dangerous thing. There have been numerous drownings in the Rio Grande by illegal migrants before there was ever any razor wire in there, not to mention the fact that these individuals who drowned recently were on the Mexican side of the river, so it's arguable whether the United States Border Patrol would have even have jurisdiction to go in there anyway. The Texas National Guard itself has saved dozens of people from either drowning or undergoing other medical emergencies upon trying to cross the border. But the whole point is to try to filter people who do want to come into the United States into the proper ports of entry, where they can then either make a claim to asylum or make some other legal claim as to why they should be allowed to enter the United States. And then they can go through the proper court process as opposed to just pouring through these unmanned stretches of the border that don't have any security.
Yeah, I think there's just a big difference between a fence and a razor wire barrier that, staff people get to test their clothes.
Well, I like what this young lady just said. That she was perfect. But young lady that's talking about razor wire strapping on your clothes. So I want you to see you at every prison, women and men. We need to see you at every prison, every jail across the United States, ma'am, because guess what? They use razor wire. And it makes sense to them because these people are in prison and they're trying to keep them there. So they're going to do what's necessary to keep them there, to keep other people safe. Do you not understand that, ma'am? Yes, so that's what we're supposed to do with our country. Whatever is necessary, razor wire, electric wire, whatever else, to keep us safe. Because you should not be trying to cross in that manner in the first place. Let's not forget that.
There's just a big difference between a fence and a razor wire barrier that, staff people get to test their clothes. That's a big reason why people drown trying to cross over the razor wire. If this event did happen, this incident happened on the Mexican side of the border, there's a problem. Why is razor wire on the Mexican side of the border? That's going to put the United States in a really tough position with Mexico. Why are you putting razor wire in the Rio Grande River on our side? I think it's a very dangerous obstacle. It's not the same thing as falling off of a fence, something that is intentionally meant to cut anyone who comes into contact with it, or have their clothes while you're swimming in a river trying to cross over. So I think it makes sense to have the Border Patrol be able to, cut this down, because this is going to increase tensions between the United States and Mexico. I think putting people's lives at risk unnecessarily just doesn't make sense. Is immigration into the United States the same thing as an invasion? What constitutes an invasion? I don't think people who are willing to risk their lives, that's why they're going through these dangerous conditions, because of what they are fleeing, is so much worse than the potential of encountering the Texas National Guard, of encountering razor wire, of risking their life crossing the desert or the Rio Grande, which is extremely dangerous. People drown quite often. So really, these are people that are making a big risk because they've deemed their life in Mexico worth taking that risk. And a lot of the dangers in Mexico are thanks to U.S. intervention across.
You somewhere around.
Oh, aren't you so smart, lady? I bet you got a bunch of big degrees. I bet you, if they look at you on paper, it looks like, and you sound like you know what you're talking about. But here's where you don't get it and you don't understand. Because you probably lived comfortable all your life. You probably were able to just talk and run your mouth. You probably never been hit in the face. You probably never had consequence for anything that you said out of your mouth. Not to say you're supposed to be hit in the face. But when it comes to this thing called violence and what could potentially be terrorism and things of that nature, ma'am, the way you're talking makes us vulnerable. Because you're assuming that everybody that's coming across the border is coming across with good intentions. And that's where you're wrong. You cannot say in good conscience, in good faith, that if you just open up our borders and because it's dangerous for them to cross it, that doesn't mean that some of these people don't have ill intentions for the United States of America. That doesn't make any sense. And I don't have to have 40 college degrees to say, this sounds stupid as I don't know what. You're assuming, your assumptions can get a lot of people killed. The way you talk, I would get away from you fast as I don't know what if I was a man around you. Because you're going to get everybody killed with your emotions. You cannot assume all of these people are just seeking better living. Some of these people could be seeking to tear this motherfucker down, lady. And by your thought process, you're not even caring or concerned about that. You so caught up in your emotions and what other people could be going through and not knowing that these people could be dangerous. And you could be absolutely wrong. Are you willing to risk your family? Because Texas is not. People in Texas are not willing to risk their family. And I bet you don't live in Texas. You don't sound like you live in Texas. But even if you do, I think you are absolutely off base.
Crossline in Central America. And so when you have Representative Mike Collins, quoting the Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, saying, the U.S. shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect them against invasion. So it's not the states' rights to protect themselves against invasion. They could say,
they put it right on us. Out of all the spots on the map, they put it right on us.
Not just the Texas border. Maybe they'll end up succeeding, and maybe it will be, closest to Mexico.
I mean, the argument would be then that the federal government has failed in its duty to protect the states, and so the states have had to then protect themselves because the federal government fundamentally right now is refusing to enforce immigration policy as it sits on the books. And what Texas is doing is simply enforcing the policy that the federal government has signed on to. So there's not an inconsistency between federal law and what Texas is doing to try to secure its border. I would argue that this absolutely would qualify as an invasion. When we just look at the sheer numbers of people who are coming across the border, we've seen, I believe, somewhere between 6 and 8 million just since the beginning of the Biden administration. That's more than the population of many U.S. states.
Six to 8 million people during the Biden administration. 6 to 8 million during the Biden administration. 6 to 8 million. You want to say that's not an invasion? And this young lady is absolutely right. It's the federal government's job to protect the borders, and they're not doing it. They want to cut down wires. So yes, the state can step in at that point. You're not enforcing your federal laws. So we're going to enforce some state laws.
Yeah, I'm good on scopes. Yeah, I'm good.
We've seen record numbers on a monthly basis of over 300,000 illegal migrants, illegal encounters. That's actually the ones that we don't catch coming across the border on a monthly basis. The highest number under the Trump administration when he signed the emergency authorization was 100,000, just over 100,000. We're now seeing triple that. And yet the Biden administration still refuses to even call this a crisis, refuses to use the available authority that they do have outside of congressional intervention, outside of additional funding to secure the border. And I would also argue that this would actually probably help tensions with Mexico because Mexico doesn't want people from Guatemala and Honduras coming up through their country either to then get across the U.S. border, drown on their side of the Rio Grande River, potentially die on the journey in their country. It's a humanitarian requirement, I think, to not incentivize people with our policies to make that dangerous trek, where a vast majority of them are paying tens of thousands of dollars to coyotes who don't care about their life. It's essentially human trafficking. We've seen statistics suggesting that as many as 70% of women who come on the journey to the United States are sexually assaulted on their way to the
Just knowing that stat alone, the border should be closed. If you care about women, these people act like they love women and children. They act like they're feminists. They act like this. This stat right here, women. You imagine these women getting pounced on by men that's waiting for them to come across the border? 10 and 11-year-old little girls got grown men on them. This stat alone you should make sure everybody come through one way to come through the United States. Listen to this right here, what this woman is about to say.
And not incentivize people with our policies to make that dangerous trek, where a vast majority of them are paying tens of thousands of dollars to coyotes who don't care about their life. It's essentially human trafficking. We've seen statistics suggesting that as many as 70% of women who come on the journey to the United States are sexually assaulted on their way, to the point that mothers are giving their 10-year-old daughters birth control so that they don't get pregnant when they're raped by the coyotes or the males who are on them with them on these journeys. And so, to me, not securing the border, not policy to prevent people from wanting to come here because they think that they're going to get released.
She said it right.
I think I'm gonna end you right. Imagine that. We don't want to end this border crisis, and you got mothers with 10-year-old children, birth control, so they don't get pregnant by the coyotes who's R-worded 70% of women and little girls on this track. And we got some sick monsters that can't look at that number alone and say, you know what? Enough is enough. That number alone, to know that little children are having to go through this. Because even if you had an open border, if you let the borders open, cut all the wires down, they still are being R-worded on that track over here. So you should stop this totally. Because if you know and you got the power to do something about it, shame on you.
Let's get it.
To push some damn agenda or to make it political, you know, 70% of women and children are being R-worded, and these are numbers you can look up. That's a shame. I'm sorry, guys. I can't even do my shout-outs with that number like that. That's crazy. Just thinking about the little children that have to go through that and then get over here. How can they have a better life after going through that much torment to get here? Grown men touching on them. You don't know if it's going to be one. That's a shame. I'm out.
Get a little taste of mama's cooking, mama's cooking, mama's cooking. Get a little taste of mama's cooking.
Get a little taste of mama's cooking, mama's cooking, mama's cooking. My daughter love that song. Yeah, my daughter love that song. Uh-oh, NBA talk going wrong, open panel. Yeah, this is real life though. Like, I don't know what y'all see. I see a script. I see a script. This is the best script ever written. And maybe it's the best script. I don't know. KB, do you say what?
I got 5.
You said you were doing sports talk on the other channel. This is the main channel. I know. I'm gonna dedicate that channel to more sports talk, but I do both of you. Before I had to get all these other channels, I did everything on one channel. I'm a man of many parts. Just like all of us. You guys go to work, you go to the barbershop, you go wherever, you talk sports, you talk politics, but you may not talk them in the way I might talk them, but you talk about things that's going on. So
yeah, they got some gunshots back though.
They said so is the NFL. No, that's a shame when you shoot 43 free throws. Like, how many games we got to see the same thing happen? Now this team, the Lakers, look like they're being carried. They're being carried to a play-in or being carried to the playoff by way of the free throw line. Every game, every time they get into some trouble, the free throw line is their butt. They probably only practice shooting threes and free throws. Against Sacramento, the same thing. Against Golden State, same thing. 43-16. So let's see. 43-16, right? Now, 43 times 2 is 86. Now, some of the shots could have been just one, and it could have been and one. I'm just saying they have a potential to be 86 points and just shooting free throws. We either rather have that if it's one shot.
They don't want.
That's a lot. And I think a lot of NBA real fans, they getting tired of this shit. They getting tired of what seems like a script. They getting tired of what seems like there's a lot to talk about this damn basketball and why they changed it. All these guys are scoring all these points now. It's like, really? Is this what's really going on? The foul, bro.
I'm telling you, they keep shooting non-stop.
How can you say that?
It was 145 right here.
So that's why I can say that. I used to play it, and I know there's a certain thing called superstar call. Most of the superstars, you better not breathe on these cats, or they're going to get a foul call. And I know a certain thing called a large market. And if you are in a market, let's not make no mistake about it. LeBron James is bankable. You can take LeBron to the bank, Jack. And that's a fact. Why you think he's been in the NBA Finals damn near 7-8 years in a row? Oh, you think it's just because he's talented? You ever seen an NBA player get traded or get players traded to them as much as you've seen this happen? This is bankable. This is marketable to have LeBron James, Steph Curry them make the most money. I'm about to play the video from Carcino soon. But this is like a storyline. It's bankable. I almost bet my house that the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be in the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift in the stand. And you look at it, every damn play the Kansas City Chiefs score now, the damn camera seems to always turn to Taylor Swift.
Come on, yeah. Car here. Yeah.
I don't get it. What the hell is Taylor Swift doing that the camera needs to go to her every time something happens? TP said, not see though. Come on, bro. Real shit. Hey, I understand. LeBron James and his Laker teammates were the only players allowed to play after a positive COVID test because that would have ruined their season. And it's not bankable to ruin the Lakers' season. Are you nuts? They show y'all in y'all.
They coming out.
Something about it the other year. It was like, oh, he's LeBron. Duh. Well, okay, well, y'all had rules that nobody could play. Like, I understand, TP, you like LeBron. I get it. And I understand you might think, it's biased. But at the end of the day, it's undeniable that the rules change so deep.
Man, I can't hear that.
But you've never seen no shit like this. This is crazy. Steph Curry, everybody is saying this is crazy. You got coaches stepping out talking about this now. You got all the sports media talk about the Lakers as if they're a team that's contending for a championship. And they suck. So much so that they got to shoot 40-something free throws in a game. You telling me this old, soft-ass team can carry the threat to the point where they get 40-something free throws?
Damn, man, I'm hesitating, waiting. I threw a grenade on. Damn, I should have just. I waited for him to see him pop back out. I'm gonna shoot him.
I think start getting the real authentic of the game. It's like we're going to watch a play.
It's on you, bro.
It's like watching the NBA, watching it. It's like watching a play. Of course, things can change. You can get hits or whatever. But it's so easy in crucial points of the game. The teams are so equal. It's so easy to kick it with 1-2 points. And it's over.
Good shit, good shit.
I felt like it was scripted.
Pop my to the left. He just threw something at you.
Because everybody have bad nights. But these fans
yeah,
want
chase
to
down.
have good nights every night. See, when you're a fanatic of a person, you want to see your superstar score 30 points.
Oh,
So therefore, if he's having a
yeah,
bad
kick me
night,
first
he's
person.
not shooting well, then hopefully he's just not having a whole shit to bed day. So hopefully he can hit some free throws. And if he doesn't hit no free throws, then he's absolutely fine.
Happy cheeks.
But they'll
Need some
allegedly coach you along the way, in my opinion.
Why you say so silly, bro?
There's always been a pecking order in sports. Everyone knows that. But you've seen some of the players like KG, you've seen Paul Pierce, you've seen people before they take a job, they tell you the honest truth on what they actually feel. It may not be absolutely true, but what they feel about what they see, they tell it. So the NBA is a several billion dollar business, so they're going to protect their image at all costs. So I just make it seem like
platform. Pick the links.
lady that's doing something. And he don't got
Facebook,
no
one
friends.
Son Jet.
He's not cool with none of the other officials. They don't know nothing about all the money he
It's
making
on
or what's
Facebook.
making.
IG
Yeah,
one
they
Son
don't know
3,
nothing. It's just
Facebook
one
one
person. And if you believe that, I got a rock that I found off the ground that was $300 million. I need you to pay for it in cash and in Bitcoin. Yeah, cash and Bitcoin.
Well, I ain't hitting nothing.
Just take this rock. Sports used to be something that brought us together because the brutal nature of it, but the honesty of it, the unexpected used to be beautiful. Yeah, be in Bitcoin, bro. Why didn't I just attempt the superstar call? Because shit, he was playing against
Take your
LeBron.
time and take me a little break.
The next game,
Restroom break.
salute to you.
Oh, I found y'all nigga. I thought I was young. I was just us two. So definitely, if I was following one of y'all, like, you got shifted out here. I made my way to you, bro. Oh, we both in the circle, so we good. You stuck? I getting stuck in the game. Stuck between some rocks. He said he can't help you. I do your real life. You get up on the road. You gotta keep it moving. Oh, yeah, but Call of Duty need to make it like this. Nah, I don't post to because I had tried it a little trick and didn't take up space, but I don't know, probably because I had a certain kind of item in. Matter of fact, let's put on duos like this. Yeah. I seen one more person on, I forgot who it was. We just added somebody yesterday. Yeah, we just added, I just added somebody yesterday to the plan. Oh, you like the VSS too? Oh, you got VSS and VSI, but make them drop quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then the bullets drop. Yeah, the bullets drop on the VSS. Yeah, ain't no how. I found the vehicle. Oh, that's somebody right now. I see somebody too. Yeah, I just seen somebody buy a vehicle. I think it. He ran out somewhere. I see him. Knocked down two of them. Three kills. Oh, got the fourth one. Teamwork makes dream work. I didn't meet on 9. Huh? What's a 9-bullet set? What's a 9-bullet set? I hear a vehicle by me. Oh man, here I come. Y'all get that might get cool up there. Way right there behind that bush. Okay. There you go. Caught him that time. Caught him that time. Yeah. Matter of fact, I kind of know that these bullets, they don't drop like other guns. Mm-hmm. They having a shootout. Yep. The car right there. I'm gonna let them knock off each other so that way it knock down the population. Probably with me. Oh, got him. Yeah, it's the only way to come up here. Hop out the shoe. That's why I came in, Bill. It's only 2 ways in, front and back. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh shit. He got me. He got me. I had to take that buddy with me. I had to think he trying to crawl free him. Nah, but he staying right here with me. Oh, it's 2 teams left. I should have. Damn, I missed it. Damn, I should have down there. Here go the Quinn. No map. Yeah. Fair use, education purpose, and 7 on. Fair use, educational purpose, entertainment only. Love it. Delicious. Mm. Oh, it's just me by myself. There's no teammate. come down already? Yeah, I already can. Rock and roll, rolling rock. Damn, I want to go. Hit it. Oh, no. I'm trying to do a flip. Oh, my God. Yep. No, I didn't. You took them out. Must be some box on because they look like this. Too fresh. They left everything but a vehicle. Oh, no, they did. They left them. Yeah, it was some box. Rock and roll, rolling rock, control the glide. Rock and roll, rolling rock, I control the slide. That's it. All right. Oh, shit. Shoot the first again. Just wait. Can't see nothing. Nope, not good. First look, that's where my teammate at, man. I'm gonna be all set in fact. I'm gonna leave the match. Oh man, we on this damn thing. You don't want the desert map. You don't want the desert map. Oh, roll it right. I control it. I control the blind. We're going. We're right. Now you look back. Shit. Ooh, yeah. I might just think, yeah, we got 2 people down now. Yeah, I was just looking at those. We got 1 people down too. Do 2 on that, put 1 down on that right. So that's going to go straight to it. Yeah, that's me. I got it. This is how we come to. All right, all right. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We got ways to go to. Oh, sir. Yeah, that's me. Hold on. Nah, should be. Yeah, it might be upstairs. I just dropped it. I saw guns out. It was 2 6 times. Now I just need a lead. Got on. Nah, I'm inside the building. I hear him. Right here. I see the car. It might be on top of the building. Oh shit, they shooting at me now. Shit. Yeah.
It's the what?
I'm trying to get sponsorship there. Spread love. Oh shit. Damn, I overthrew that bit. Ah.